Hello, welcome to Fantastic Books and where to find them. So today I want to talk about Nevernight. So yeah, for real, I finally read Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I, Gemma Doe, do admit that one Stephanie Dodd was correct. The book is awesome. As a result, you may redeem one I told you so dance. So I did try reading Nevernight last year and I just had a lot of trouble getting into it. I didn't have a lot of time to read, which sounds really weird, but like I was still trying to build my blog, so I was doing a lot of reviews of books that were coming out that were new, so I wasn't putting a lot of time into reading older books, which obviously Nevernight even then still was an older book, even by a year or so. And if you've read Nevernight, and this is a spoiler video, so I'm hoping you have, if not I'll give you a nod of when to get lost because spoilers, but you might notice that there are footnotes in this. You get a little asterisk and it denotes to a footnote below, which is like, they're really funny, they're informative, I really like them, but I have the problem that I get lost when I try and get back to the actual text, so I will get to an asterisk, read the footnote, and then try and go back and I've lost my place and I've lost the flow, and that really annoyed me. Also, I will admit, and I think a lot of other people found this too, the first 80 to 100 pages are kind of boring. I mean, there's some really awesome parts, and I think the opening is done really well. I mean, I love the book, don't get me wrong, but those first 80 pages or so are definitely a slog. I did try listening to it via an audiobook instead, and I just thought that the narrator made it sound like Captain Kirk was doing a dramatic reading, which I think I've mentioned a few times before, so imagine my surprise when I came back. And actually I don't mind the audiobook so much now. I think it was a case of I can either get used to the narrator or I don't get to read as much of it. I think I just kind of got used to it after a while, and the way it's read, it just incorporates the footnotes into the narration, and as a result didn't bother me as much. I mean, as you get along in the story, there are a lot less, even though I just didn't notice them as much, I think, of the footnotes. So that kind of helped as well, so I did tend to read faster the further I went on, and I just enjoyed it more. So yeah, I will say that if you're trying Nevernight for the first time, like I said, this is a spoiler video, so I don't know why you're here anyway, but I'd say get to the first 100 or so pages, maybe 120, and then if you're still not enjoying it, maybe it's not for you. And I think, I'm sure everyone knows this already, but although I do review a lot of YA books, this is not one of them. This is an adult book. Jay himself makes a huge thing of trying to let people know that this is an adult book. A teenage protagonist does not a YA make. So yeah, she is, under 20, and a teenager, but that doesn't mean this is a YA book. And I wouldn't say it's dark, it's just, it's just murdery. There's a lot of bad language, so I apologize in advance, I'm probably going to use a little bit of bad language in this review, so just in advance. I tried not to swear at all in any of my review videos, just because, they're YA reviews, so they're for teenagers. Not that I'm under the impression that teenagers do not swear, because, let's be honest, as teenagers, we probably all swore. I know I did. There's an entire, soliloquy, basically, based on the word cunt, and it's brilliant. And I was worried that I would find, the bad language, overused, but actually it's really perfect. And it fits really, really well, and it's actually one of the things I liked about it, the way it was used. It was perfect. This is a really hard book to review. It's one of those books like, oh my god, I loved it, it blew my mind, but it's really hard to pick my finger on why. I think I loved that, I'm in love with Mia so badly. In case you hadn't guessed, the spoilers are coming now, so if you haven't read the book, sorry, off you top. I'll have a review on my blog probably, that'll be spoiler free soon, so keep an eye out for that. So if you're still here, you have presumably read the book, and oh my fucking god! If you had headphones on and the volume up, I'm really sorry, but I can't convey the feelings. I finished this yesterday and I was going to do a video straight after, and at the time I figured I'd just have me staring into the camera for 4 minutes just going, or, you know, maybe screaming for a few minutes. Ah! But I didn't think that would probably do too great. Anyway, I think I'm just trying to not talk about this book. Not because I didn't like it, but because I loved it, and like I said, I have had trouble trying to put my finger on why. I think I just love Mia, and I just love all the characters, and oh, so I've been describing Nevernight as Murder Hogwarts. So, and I'm sticking by that. It's definitely Murder Hogwarts. Just instead of Voldemort, we have the Illuminati. And I'm okay with that, because to be honest, it takes like my favourite parts of Harry Potter. I love the first Harry Potter because of the fact that you go to a magic school and it's awesome and you're learning stuff. That sounds really weird. Something that I would enjoy in a book. I'm learning things. But they're learning about murder because it's Murder Hogwarts and it's awesome. And there's like a nice ensemble of characters. There's not too many, but there's enough for you to be like, oh, I know who that is, I know who that is. And they have like distinguishing features and characteristics that they're easy to remember. And over time, although it's Murder Hogwarts and, you know, to make friends, obviously Mia does kind of make friends. And I found that I was getting closer to them as well. And I kept thinking like, no, I know it's got not necessarily a shitty ending, but a shitty ending, and, you know, and I thought it can't be that bad, and if it's a cliffhanger it doesn't matter because I have God's Grave already to read, so I had that in my favour, and you know what, it still fucking wrecked me. So obviously heavy spoiler territory now, because what the fuck, Ashlyn? Seriously. I think I just thought it was Hush the entire time, but I guess that would be far too obvious, and yeah. I think at one point I thought Adonai was the person who killed like Lottie, for example, and just... I knew that Jessamine and Diemo were too obvious to have been the culprits. And then I was worried it was Trick at one point, and oh my fucking god, Trick! So the clip you may have seen at the beginning of this, with me showing my book, was the moment, not the moment, because I read it about 4 times, that Ashlyn decides to repeatedly stab Trick in the chest and kill him. I don't know why I expected him to live, or just maybe it's the fact that I didn't suspect Ashlyn or something. I don't know. I don't know why I fell into this trap. But yeah, the moment that happened, I went back and I read it like 4 times. I was like, I'm not reading this right. I'm not reading this right. And apparently I did, so I loved my book. Not in like I was pissed off because it was bloody amazing. But it was just like, I can't deal with it right now. I did the same thing with Gemina. I think I actually threw Gemina as well. But obviously I won't spoil that. And yeah, so I feel like this is like probably a J. Kristoff trademark. And although I enjoyed the rest of the book, like from that moment on, my mind was just blown repeatedly. Because it was bloody awesome. You just had Mia like going back and basically slaughtering everyone, which was actually kind of awesome. And you don't really... I mean, there's fighting and stuff in books, and there's a little bit of murder here and there, and you get like, I mean, Selena is an assassin in Throne of Glass, but no, oh my god, she can do one because Mia is in town, because, oh my god, I might have enjoyed the book a little bit in case you couldn't guess. She's so unapologetic. She's still, it's weird because a lot of people I think try and do the whole, oh, assassin with a heart, and yeah, she's got a bit of a conscience. At the moment, you know, obviously I've got to read God's Grave yet. I don't know, but she doesn't hold back as much. The whole thing with Diemo, even though she believed that he killed Lottie, that was pretty cold-hearted and I loved it. I don't know, she's wicked smart as well, which I love. So the final trial for the Hall of Songs, where she like, actually yeah, I can fight pretty well and kicks a lot of people's butts. I mean, I feel like I kind of saw it coming, but also kind of like it still was awesome, and yeah. And then, yeah, so we lose Lottie. I think we lose Lottie before, yeah, we lose Lottie before we lose Trick. And that was at the point where I was like, oh god, this, you know, Jay's not pulling any punches. And I don't know why I expected him to, because obviously I've read Illuminate, I've read Aurora Rising. Obviously Nevernight is at a whole different level because it's not YA. But yeah, I feel like I should have expected it, really. I was hoping this was going to be some kind of actual coherent review, but it's just me going, oh my god, I like this bit, oh my god, I like that bit. And if you don't like that, I'm really sorry, but... I also cried at this, and I didn't think it was going to be a book I would cry at, because, you know, we know Mia's going to die. It's the very first page, we know Mia's going to die. I keep getting worried about Mr. Kindly, so... I love Mr. Kindly, I love black cats anyway, although he's obviously very much not a cat. I do love him. I love that he's sarky, but he seems too good to be true in a way, if that makes sense. He doesn't want Mia to be alone. He helps her. He stayed with her most of the time. And I don't know. There's a bit where I think when she's with the Weaver, and he's, you know, saying, "Don't worry, I'm here. You're not alone." And I was like, too good to be true. Too good to be true. So no, I know that if anything bad happens in God's grave with him, you guys are just laughing your asses off right now. Like the bit when he did disappear, I was worried that, not that he wouldn't come back, that just he was up to something. I don't know. I think at one point I thought he was getting Mia to kill people as well, and just I went through a lot of thoughts. But I love him. And I really like Eclipse as well. She's such a good doggo. I like that she's sort of like where Mr. Kindly is kind of, he's sarcastic and he kind of puts up a little of not a fight, but he doesn't, you know, meekly go along with what Mia says. Eclipse is such a dog. They're such a dog and such a cat. Although they'll say they're not dogs and cats. They totally act like, even, you know, just the dislike of each other. But the fact that Mr. Kindly like makes things not difficult, but he, you know, he makes her work for it. And Eclipse is just like, "I'll read this book for you. I'm a good doggo. I'll help." That kind of brings me around to Lord Cassius. I was thinking that even if we lost Trick or he wasn't integral to God's grave, you know, I knew that Eclipse I think would be a thing because, you know, there's a wolf on the second book. So I thought, oh, Eclipse is going to be in it. But I thought maybe, I think for a while I thought that Trick would end up with Eclipse. And then I thought maybe Lord Cassius would end up with me. And not in like a, well, maybe. I didn't think that he would die. That either of them would die. Everyone flipping died. So then when Eclipse like goes down and nuzzles him and is like, "Save him, you human fool," or whatever it is, that broke me and I did a little cry then. And then it just kind of carried on from there, really. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Oh, I love this. And this reminds me of Illuminae a lot. This sort of thing when she steps into shadows and out of shadows and stuff. I feel like, see, I don't actually know what was published first, which is 2016 for this. I can't remember when Nevernight was published. I'm so good at this. So I don't know which one came first, but I feel like if Nevernight came first, maybe that's a taste of what they went on to do in Illuminate. Or maybe, you know, it's the other way around. But that really reminded me of like stuff we get with Aiden in Illuminae, which is one of my favourite things in Illuminae is the Aiden parts. So yeah, that seemed kind of reminiscent of that, so I loved whenever that happened. I think it was just like the epilogue and around that sort of bit kind of broke me. You know, I was already like losing it kind of because, you know, Mia had just basically saved everyone. Well, not just Mia obviously, but, and she'd been absolutely badass, and then we'd lost Cassius. And we'd obviously already lost Trick, but then she still goes and keeps her word to Trick in that she goes and kills his grandfather, like she promised she would, and that was pretty cool. Although I'm worried there are going to be ramifications for that because he was Doremi royalty, I guess. And the fact that she says, "Tell him I miss him," and I was like, oh god, no, I thought I was over it. Which I quite like the fact that, because obviously you have Mia the whole time going, "Oh, I don't love him. I don't love him. I don't really have any feelings for him." And that's kind of, I think, how I felt. Oh, don't get attached to anyone. I don't like him that much. He's probably going to die or betray them or something. And then when he died, it's like, oh god, no, I think I loved him sort of thing. So that was kind of a nice parallel, I guess. So yeah, as soon as she said, "Tell him I miss him," I started crying, and then I don't think I finished until the end of the book. The fact that we have, you know, Neve gets her face back, which I know, you know, she still has her mask and stuff, I think, but it's more like the principle of it, which I kind of like. And I love Neve. I love her so much. I'm so glad that she's still around. I do wonder, you know, what's going to happen next. I've got God's grave, so the sooner I finish this video, the sooner I can go and fucking read it. So yeah, like I said, this is not a coherent or structured review in any way. If you want that, check my blog out. I will eventually, I've got a lot of backlog at the moment, but I will try and get the Nevernight review out as soon as possible, because obviously we've got Nevernight, I'm going to read God's Grave, and then obviously Dark Dawn is coming out in September. Also, I'm going to the J. Kristoff signing in London, September 3rd, and I'm dragging my husband along because he actually has read Illuminate. He loves Illuminate to death. I mean, same, but that's just why I decided to, you know, get these read now, because Dark Dawn's coming out. And Mr. Kindly is on the cover and it's gorgeous, and I kind of want it tattooed on myself. So yeah, I'll probably be filming that. I'm also possibly, so there won't be an Illumicrate unboxing this coming month, and possibly not the month after of the monthly box, but I'm hoping to instead put that money towards getting the Illumicrate Dark Dawn box. So that's like the Blood and Blades blocks, because I need it. So I'm going to try and do some more bookish reviews and things on the channel, some silly videos, because I won't be on a lot of unboxings for a while, because I'm, you know, my knees. If you made it this far, well done, because yeah, this has been kind of a hot mess of a review. I'm really sorry. So yeah, thank you for listening to me yell and rant excitedly about Nevernight. If you've already read God's Grave and you're laughing your ass off at me and the pain I have to come, thank you very much. Sound off in the comments, let me know, we can chat about Nevernight. This is a spoiler video, so feel free to have spoilers in the comments. Everyone's been warned anyway, so only about Nevernight though, because yeah, I haven't read God's Grave yet. I'm going to do that as soon as this video is edited, in fact probably before that, because I didn't want to start God's Grave and then do this video. I wanted to get this video done, get my thoughts out of the way, and then get onto God's Grave. So bugger off, I got some reading to do. Bye! Oh, before I go, I want to know how you guys do the knuckles. So, like, is it like that? I don't think I'm doing it right.